Rolling Tin Fist.
Hello, man. I am back from my trip to South America. Um, I had a little bit too much fun, even mixed with business, so I'm still recovering, but wanted to make one video today, and then I will try to do a year in the review video maybe later this weekend. My wife is now doing some work outside of the house, so I have a little bit more space to do these recordings. Different from what I typically do. So my trip to South America was great. I actually got to meet up with a friend, a MGTOW, to talk about some potential opportunities for MGTOW business we were thinking about. We also got to meet some other MGTOWs out there, various stages, but it was really great. I was really the only married man amongst them. I'm awake and all married. And it was really refreshing to see the freedom that they enjoyed and even, rubbed off on me being in an environment whereas women are really at the mercy of highly resourced men, given the socioeconomic ecosystem where I was, compared to the Western women that were present. So it really gave me a real life glimpse as to how Western women, particularly those of are closest to the wall, really start to suffer as we continue to have pockets in the world where essentially prostitution is legal, and there are systems where a man can pay to play, and basically get access to the best females, or the more sexually competitive females at a fraction of the cost. And I actually got to see this, live. Why am I saying this? For me, something as simple as just, getting a back rub. I didn't have sex with any of these women, although a lot of the guys with me did. But the point is, it was an option, right, for a very meager amount to be able to get one's needs met without the typical gynocentric BS. And you also have the option to still abstain, depending on what type of male or MGTOW you are. So I really think it was a glimpse of the future on that. I think, though, for me, particularly after really almost coincidentally watching two of Messenger's Rising videos. One was basically do MGTOW rather than talk MGTOW. I saw that before I left, and the one I saw when I got back was his latest video that basically talks about the solo life, the monk's code, really the individualism that you ascend to ultimately, I think, as you mature in age as a man, and you get through that period in your life where you're basically following your penis, and you kind of mature and you have better control of your urges, and you just really actualize to something beyond your biology. And that's kind of where I am now. I mean, I am married, and obviously I have a wife, and we have sex, but it doesn't control me the way it did, 20 years ago. And this came into play while I was down in South America. I had an opportunity, and perfectly legal. No one would have known or cared. To have sex with, a couple of women. And one of the things I made very clear is that I wasn't interested in sex, and I just wanted a massage. And I was asked, "Well, are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yep." And I paid my very minimal fee and got a very nice massage. Not unlike one you would get at a massage parlor, on any strip mall corner in the West. But it was really a smooth and easy transaction, and had a great time. The difference was that the younger men that were with me, these men were in the late 20s, around just that early 30 mark, were really surprised, and they couldn't really wrap their mind around how someone, being married notwithstanding, but basically having access to sex, very attractive women, minimal price of entry, if you will, and choosing to not engage. And, one of the things I try to explain to them briefly, it comes of having lived a little bit of life and understanding, first of all, not only the ramifications of having, promiscuous sex, but also the vicious cycle where you're basically chasing a feeling, a chemical response. Nick Wachowski talked about this in a few of his videos, the heroin effect, if you will. And once you realize that, you're really careful about sexual interactions because you understand that it can be an addiction if you're not cognizant or mature or developed enough to be aware of it and also manage it. But they were just really blown away and like almost impressed in a sense. And I explained to them that, I don't expect them to be where I'm at, but they should think about what life would look like when they're my age. And of course, they couldn't imagine. But, I could see the light bulbs go up for them and, just something to think about. One of the greatest parts of my trip to South America is that this friend, this MGTOW that I went down with, who had introduced to MGTOW, he actually took the opportunity, and he's gone through all of the MGTOW content on his own, and I'm continuing to help him stay away from marriage, despite the cultural pressure in terms of where he's from to do that. And, without my prompting or anything, he pulled out his smartphone and played the first video I got upon when I discovered the world of MGTOW, and the one I shared with him because I thought it was a great introduction, was Sandman's intro to MGTOW. Just pretty much baby steps to walk him through the basics. And there were two other gentlemen with us. We all went out. They were single guys, and he gave a brief intro, a very good intro, and we watched the first video just before we went out, just to give them a taste. And I was really proud, to see their receptiveness and, at least getting some of the things they had already thought about and experienced, but really to have it crystallized on a very basic level. And again, I just sat back and watched. I let, this younger man, talk with his peers and share the red pill knowledge begin to. And I think that's really, doing MGTOW. I mean, I'm not MGTOW, but just the concept of, rather than talking theory, really going out in the field and, sharing with men and, seeing them pass it on. For me, that was a really great highlight of my trip. Coming back, I've had a lot of time for reflection. One of the things I noticed was that, again, just the freedom that comes with having options outside of gynocentrism. Wherever you choose to abstain, you choose to have sexual relations, but the option and the freedom to do both without some of the ramifications and constraints that they are in more Western and gynocentric societies. And it's really giving me pause. And it's great. It's great to be back, and I would encourage young men out there to keep seeking. Keep seeking. As you get older, you're gonna change. You're gonna evolve, and just keep seeking knowledge. Keep seeking your own truth, your own way, and you'll be surprised what you'll find. Take care.